I really screwed up this time. I don't think I've done anything this bad since first year making maple syrup. This is just unbelievable. I don't even know what to say. All right, well, we gotta go out here and get the sap collected, and I'll tell you all about it.
Maybe there's some good hearts hanging on and on. Maybe there's some new stars going on and on.
Whoa. Houston, we have a problem. Full buckets. Full buckets. Oh. Maybe. First bucket of the season. And it's a gusher. The weather has been all over the place. I know you guys have had the same problem where it's just up and down and very unpredictable. Well, this year I waited to tap as late as I could, and I did, which is fine. We're all tapped in. We ended up with 52 taps this year. Not a record by any means, but still, that's a fair amount of taps. So this year with the crazy weather, everybody on social media is kind of all over the place. Oh, it's too warm, it's too cold, and this happens every year. Maybe not to this extent, but it does happen every year. Look at that. That's a dead bee in my sap. So, go bee. There's a good part and a bad part to that. Bad part is the bee died, and it was in my sap. Good part is I must have some bees alive somewhere. I think I know right where they are. For things like bees or little particulates, like I don't know if you can see in there a little bit, there's just little pieces of tree particle, maybe a twig or two. But I use this pre-filter here with a funnel on top of my IBC tote. And this just filters out all the big things like the squirrels, any blue jays, or any type of small rodent that may or may not get lodged in the bucket. So what you do is you just wring them out, and you can either eat them or let them be free if they're still alive. Whoopsies. There's a little ice chunk. So what I wanted to tell you guys involves this little ice chunk right here. So we here at Gagne Farms do not boil the ice chunks. Now, I say that if I had a whole bucket full of ice, yes, there's going to be some sugar in that. If I have a little bit of ice on top, I'm not wasting my time trying to melt that all down, not run it through my RO for what little bit of sugar content may be in there. So last week after we got tapped in, we had what's known as a super run around here, which that is when all of the stars align, the moons and planets are all lined up, and the temperature is just right, and the trees just flow and flow and flow, and it's like you can't ever get them to stop flowing. This is what happened last week. So we had some things going on the early part of the weekend. I was not going to be able to collect or boil. I figured, all right, we're going to be fine. We'll just get together, get around on Sunday. We can boil on a Sunday. In the latter part of the weekend, be just fine. When we got back late Friday afternoon, Candace said I misspoke. We didn't get back late Friday night. We got back late Saturday night. Late Saturday afternoon. It was kind of late Saturday afternoon.
It was Saturday.
It was Saturday, and I was tired. So was she. I decided to run out in the woods here quick and check our buckets, make sure we were good to go for Sunday morning. And that's where I noticed I screwed up. See, typically I'm on either online on the computer or on my phone. I'm checking weather. I'm making sure everything's perfect. I got all my things planned out to go along with whatever weather's coming. And I didn't do that this time. I just figured, hey, it's really warm. It's going to continue to be warm and everything's going to be awesome and perfect. Yeah, well, I got home on Saturday afternoon, came out and checked the buckets. They were frozen solid. I didn't know what to do. So, there's not much you can really do when you've got frozen buckets and it is complete solid ice. I couldn't even get my hand through it. Sometimes you can kind of push on it a little bit and just kind of break it up. Couldn't do that at all. These things were solid frozen. So that's when I decided I'm gonna have to move on to plan B. There's quite a bit in there right now. It's on an angle, but it shows over between 75 and 100 gallon right now. We'll be able to know exactly what we got on this thing as soon as we get it offloaded into the other IBC tote in the barn. But we're still collecting here. We just got up around the house, and you can kind of see my ramshackle woodshed that decided to cave in on itself this year. Fun. Not. Super runs are always hard to predict. 'Cause by the time you think you got the weather dialed right in and you know exactly what's going to happen, something changes. Or it gets windy. Or maybe it's 45 degrees out, but it's a cloudy day. So maybe it's a cloudy day and windy, but the air temperature is warmer, you know? So it's real hard to predict on these super runs. And that's where I overlooked the whole deal. I should have, before I decided not to collect, when I could have collected, I should have got on a weather app, something. I mean, hell, it's on my phone, right? I can just get on my phone quick and look up a weather app and see what it is. But I didn't. For whatever reason, I didn't. And we froze up solid. And I think I did that on our first year that we were doing syrup. I froze up solid like that, just trying to predict the weather a little bit. Trying to be too cute is what happened. Oh. So, Eric, what'd you end up doing? Well, I'll tell you what we did. We didn't do anything. There's not much we could have done. I mean, we were froze up solid. I mean, apart from bringing every bucket in, bringing it into the pole barn or something, and, you know, trying to put it under some kind of heat source. You know, we just got to kind of let Mother Nature run its course here. So I did learn from my mistakes from a few days ago, and I actually got on the weather app and looked and made sure, yeah, we've got a real big warm-up coming, like super big warm-up. Like today it's like 55, and tomorrow it's gonna be like 65, and which is crazy stupid hot for around here. But so I looked, and we just kind of let Mother Nature warm up our buckets, and that kept our sap cold through the hot day here. Yesterday it was in the 40s, today it was in the higher 50s, and that can ruin a whole batch of sap right away. So it actually worked out in our benefit because we still got our super run, and we've still got a lot of sap. It's crystal clear, good as the day that it came out of the tree, and we're gonna run it. All right. So with a super run, we actually had to grab 2 spare buckets because these guys were froze up, but they were completely full. And we put 2 other buckets right here on the same tree, on the same spile. So we're just collecting the last couple buckets here. We got 6-8 buckets here we're gonna collect, and then we're gonna go offload this guy and see how much we got. You guys want to put down your guess of how many gallons of sap that we collected here off this first super run? Leave it down in the comments below. We'll see who's closer. Well, we just got offloaded here tonight, and let's go check out our final tally on how much sap we got. Oh, let's see. Right there is 125 gallons. So I'm gonna say we're just below that. We're almost at like 100. That's like over 120. I would say let's call it 120 gallons because I probably had a little bit of sap loss here and there. But all right, we're gonna get all this equipment unloaded. We've got to boil this. We got to do something with it. I got to RO it. I got to boil it. I got to do something. So watch for some evaporation videos coming up real soon. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Catch you on the next one.